Elementary Chinese Reader 3, Lesson 53. 推敲. 推敲 means to scrutinize, to deliberate, to consider. In this lesson, we'll see the story that is associated with this word 推敲. 推 means to push and 敲 means to knock at. Together, these words mean to consider, to deliberate, or to scrutinize something. 第53课 Lesson 53. 推敲 to scrutinize, to deliberate, to consider, or think about something. 古时候人们做事时候 is time. 古时候 is old time. 人们 people. 诗 is poem. 做事 is do poem or write poetry. In ancient time, people wrote poems. 常常是一边心里想着设住。常常 often 是一边 once 心里 in heart 想着 think of 设住 住 is a sentence 设住 is a line in a poem or often they think of poems in their heart 一边嘴里地上吐出来一边 so this is a pattern 一边什么什么一边 one hand on the other hand 一边嘴 this 嘴 here means mouth 嘴里 in the mouth 地上 low voice 吐 to read 出来 来 to come so on one hand read it in a low voice in the mouth 唐代有个诗人名叫家岛唐代 Tang Dynasty 唐代有个诗人 a poet have a poet 名叫 the name was called 家岛 there was a poet in Tang Dynasty who was called 家岛他做事十分认真他做 he did 是 poem 十分 extremely 认真 is serious or seriously he wrote poems very seriously 每一句每一个字 every sentence every character 每一句 is a sentence z is a character every sentence and every character 几乎 almost though without exception almost all of them 要 want 反复修改反复 is repeatedly 修改 modified so every sentence and every character almost every sentence and every character had to be repeatedly modified 他一天到晚 he every day till late or he all day long 嘴里总是不停地念着诗句嘴里 is in the mouth 总是 always 不停 not stop 不停地念着念 is to read not stop reading 诗句 the sentence of the poem he all day long in the mouth never stop to read the sentence of the poem in his mouth 当时流传着当时 that time 流传流 is to flow 流传 is to circulate 流传着 that time circulated 不少 not less or many that time circulated many 关于 concerning or about. At that time circulated many concerning tha, he or his, who is hard work or labor. 若是的故事 Zuosher is writing poetry, the 故事 story. At that time, there circulated many stories of the hard work he put while writing stories. 推敲就是其中的一个。推敲 to consider or to deliberate or scrutinize. 就是 in fact. 其中 is among. 其中的一个 one. Among them, 推敲 or deliberate or scrutinize is one of them or one of the story that was circulated at that time about the hard work that he put in while writing the poem. 有一次 once 家岛在京城参加考试。家岛在 in 京城 capital 参加 to take part 考试 an exam or test. Once家岛 was in the capital to take an exam or a test. 一天他骑着一头小鹿。One day, 一天他 he 骑着 骑 is to ride, he was riding. 一头 one 小鹿 小 is small, lu is a donkey. One day he was riding a donkey. 到街上去玩。街上 is on the street. 去 is to go. 玩 is to have fun. So he was on the street riding a donkey. 在路上 on the road. 他想出了两句诗。想出了 he thought of. 两句诗 two lines of a poem or two sentences of a poem, and the two lines of the poem were 鸟树吃遍树. 鸟 is a bird, 树 is to rest for the night, 吃 is pond or pool, 遍 side, 树 tree. So bird is resting for the night in the tree at the side of pond. 僧推月下门. Sang is a monk. 推 is to push. 月 moon. 下门 down. Man is door. Here man means a monastery. So bird is resting in the tree at the side of pond, and a monk pulls down the moon to the monastery. 描写的是夜晚。描写 is to describe. 夜 is night. 晚 is late. 描写的是夜晚 it described night. 一个非常安静的环境。一个非常 extremely 安静 quiet 安静的环境。环境 is surrounding or environment. A very peaceful and calm environment. So it described these two lines of the poem described a very peaceful and calm surrounding at night. 家道反复. 家道反复 is to repeat. 反复 to repeatedly read. 这两句诗. 这两 these two. 句诗 these two lines of the poem. So Chia Tao repeatedly read these two lines of poem as he was used to repeating the lines slowly within the mouth. 觉得气壮的腿热，觉得 is felt 气壮. In this, among this, 腿热 the word 推 or word push. 如果改成巧热，如果 if 改 to change to 改成 to change to 巧 is knock the character. So he felt that if the word thui is replaced with the character qiao. 也许更好一些. 也许 is perhaps 更好 even better. 一些 a bit. Maybe a bit better. So he repeated these two lines of poem and felt that if he replaced the word thui with the word qiao, it may be slightly better. 改还是不改呢？改 to change 还是 or 不改呢 not change to change or not to change. 他一时拿不定主意。他一时 is temporary. 拿不定 undecided 主意 idea or thought. So he could not decide for a while. 于是便在路背上一边地读。于是 therefore 便在 is conveniently 在 at 路 donkey 背上 at the back 一边 over and over 一边比一边地读 is to read. So therefore he read it over and over, sitting conveniently at the back of the donkey. 同时还用手做着推和翘的动作。同时 at the same time, 还 in addition still 用 using 手 hand 做着 did 推 to push 和 and 敲 knock the 动作 movement or action. At the same time, using hand did the action for pushing and knocking. So he conveniently read these two lines over and over, conveniently sitting at the back of donkey and at the same time making action or making movement of pushing and knocking with his hand. 反复的比较 is comparatively, 反复 is repeat or repeatedly, compared repeatedly. By reading it over and over and making action of push and knock, he compared these two lines repeatedly. 他完全忘记了。完全 is completely, 忘记了 forgot. He completely forgot. 日记是骑着路在街上走。日记 self 是 is 骑着 riding 路 donkey 在 at 街上街 is street or road 上日记是骑着路在街上走。日记 is self 是 is 骑着骑 is to ride 路 is donkey 在 at 街上街 is street or road 上 up or on 走 to walk. Himself is riding a donkey on the street. So while thinking about the 2 lines of the poem, he completely forgot that he himself was riding a donkey on the street. 小鹿也像没人管一样. Xiaolu is donkey. Ye also. Xiang like. Mei ren no person. Guan to control or manage. Yi yang like. The donkey also like no one is managing. Chao qian luan pao. Chao is towards, qian forward, luan disorderly, pao to run. Run forward in a disorderly manner. So the donkey also, like no person is managing him, ran forward or moved forward in a disorderly way. 就在这时候, at this time or at this moment, 前面来了一个大官. 前面 is in front of, 来了 came, 一个 a, 大官 big official or big officer. 在哪个时代, 在 at 哪个 that 时代 that time or during those days, 在哪个时代? 老百姓在路上遇到大官. 老百姓 is a common or ordinary person. 在 at 路上 on the road. 遇到 to meet. 大 big, quan official. The ordinary person meet a big official. 必须 must, 远远的 far, 躲开 stay away. Must stay away far or must far away stay. In those days, whenever a common person met a big official on the road, must stay away from the big official. 可是这位驾到, 可是 but 这位 this 驾到 but this 驾到, 一心想着自己的事主. 一心想着 心 is heart, in the heart 想着 thinking of, 自己 self 自己的事主. 事主 is verse of poem or sentences of poem, thinking only of the poem's verses. 而且 and 还 in addition or still, 在 at 不停 not stop, 不停的做着 not stop doing, 推和敲 to push and knock, the 动作 action. So this poet is only thinking of the verses in his heart, and in addition he is also constantly doing the action of pushing and knocking. 小鹿拖着他一直闯到大官的面前. The donkey 拖着 carrying, 他 him 一直闯 to bump into or to rush into, 到大官 the high official, the 面前 in front of. The donkey carried him on his back until he was in the front of the big official. 卫兵见了, 卫兵 is guard, 见 is to see. The guard saw. 立刻把他从路背上拉了下来. 立刻 at once, 把 take him, 从 from 路背上 from the back of the donkey, 拉了 la is to push, 拉了 okay, 拉 is to pull off, 拉了 pulled off. 下来 下来 shia is down, la is bring, so so at once they took him from the back of the donkey and pulled him down. 这是夹道赛知道日记闯了祸。这是 this time 夹道赛 only then 知道 to know 日记 self 闯了闯 is to bump or rush into who is trouble or misfortune. Only then or only at this time that Chia Tao realized that he has bumped into a trouble. 他见了那个大官 He saw that 大官 high official. So he saw or he met that high official. 就牢牢设设把日记一现象摄住的情况说了。就 then 老老实实老实 is being honest. The repetition of verb 老老实实 or honestly. 把 grammar particle 日记 self 一心 in heart 想 think 摄住 verse 摄住的情况 situation 说 say了 grammar particle for past tense said or told. Then honestly told him about his thinking of verses in his heart. 以便希望大官能原谅他。以便 once again 希望 hope 大官 the high official 能 can 原谅 forgive 他 him. So he hoped that the high official will forgive him. 事情真巧，事情 is matter, 真 is real or really, 巧 is a coincidence. What a coincidence, or it was a coincidence. 原来那个大官是唐代有名的诗人韩愈。原来 it turns out or originally 那个 that 大官 high official 是 is 唐代 Tang dynasty 有名 famous the 诗人 poet 韩愈。韩愈 is the name of poet. So it was a coincidence that that high official turned out to be Han Yu, a famous poet of Tang dynasty. 他听了家道说的情况 He heard the situation of Jia Tao or what the Jia Tao said. 知道是因为若是赛撞了他的车马。知道 is to know, 是因为 because of, 若是 doing poetry, 赛撞了 bump into 他的车马 his horse cart. So he came to know that because of doing poetry he bumped into his horse carriage. 不但没生气 not only he was not angry, 反而 instead 停下来 stopped, came down 跟家道 with 家道一起 together 谈 to discuss 谈起诗来 to discuss poetry. So he was not only was he not angry, instead he come down to discuss poetry with Jia Tao. Jia Tao 听说这位大官就是韩愈。Jia Tao heard that this high official in fact is Han Yu. 非常高兴 very happy, was extremely happy. 就问他对这两句诗的意见。就 then one asked 他 he or him 对 to 这两 these two 句诗 sentences of poem 的意见 is opinion. So he asked him about his opinion of these two sentences of poem. 韩愈想了想 Han Yu thought for a while. 我觉得敲字比推字好。I think 敲 the word 敲 or knock is better than to push than the character for push. 静静的夜 quiet night. 里 in the quiet night. 在月光下 under the moonlight. 月 is moon, 光 is light. 月光下 under the moonlight. 一个商人 一个 is one or a 商人 is monk. 的地敲着山门 的地敲 is to knock. 山门 shan is mountain or man is door. A monk knocked on the door. 这个情景是很美的。这个 this 情景 this scene 是 is 很美的很 very 美 is beautiful. This scene is very beautiful. 于是 therefore 驾到就把推字改成了敲字。Therefore 驾到 then change the 推 character and change with 敲 character. Change with the word push to the character knock. 我们现在用的 we right now or these days use 推敲. So right now we use the word 推敲. 这个词 this word or this phrase 就是从这个故事来的，就是 in fact song from 这个 this 故事 story 来 to come. So this word in fact comes from this story. 意思是这对此主今很欢喜。意思 meaning 是 is. 这对 is to point, 对 is to words. 此主 the sentence. 今很 to carry on or to do. 欢喜 analyze. So this word means to analyze. 推敲 the meaning of this phrase means to analyze words or sentence or actions. 比较 compare. 反复考虑 反复 is repeatedly. 考虑 is to consider. Consider repeatedly. 使他用 使 is to make. 他 it. 用 using. 用的尽量 尽量 is as much as possible. 准确 准确 is accurate. 生动 vivid or clear. So we used to repeatedly analyze words and make it as accurate and vivid as possible. So this was the story of origin of word 推敲 and the story of poet Jia Tao. Lesson 53 of Elementary Chinese Reader 3.